Hey there, welcome to Polymer Clay TV. I'm Kira, and today I'm going to show you how to use our copper patina powder kit and some deco discs to make a really fun dimensional aged looking copper pendant. Let's get started. So there you have it. It's a really fun and simple way to add a little age to your polymer clay. So we have metal oxides, which is kind of like grungy, rusty looks, a couple of browns, black, white, and a green. And then we've got the copper patina, which are colors that were chosen because of looking at what real copper patina tends to look like. So these have no mica in them. They're flat matte colors. And you can get them, of course, at createalong.com. So I hope that that was a fun idea for you. If you want to share what you make using techniques like this, come on over to Polymer Clay Tribe and share with us. We love to see what you make. Have a great week. Here's the quick rundown of what I'm using. I've got my copper patina set of powders. You could also use the metal oxides and patina. This is for a rusty look. This is for the bright copper finish. So I'm also going to use liquid Sculpey, and I'm going to mix my own copper color. I happen to have a nice chunk of the old Premo copper, which to me was a very bright, brilliant copper color, and bronze. I'm going to mix these together to get a sort of nice, modern copper color. I'm going to use my Sculpey hollow bead maker and my Create Along deco disc. These are the fleur-de-lis deco discs. So you got 2 small ones and 2 bigger ones. And they are actually smooth on the back, and this is acrylic. So if you're familiar with the concept of putting acrylic on the back, on the ends of your canes to reduce them, for example, to keep that from happening, you would smush this up onto the acrylic and then reduce your cane. That's what these are. So now you have 2 cane reducing tools every time you buy deco discs. So let's start, and the first thing I'm going to do is make a piece of each of these so that I can put them on my hollow bead maker. The process we're going to use here is pressing your clay into the deco disc and then using an appropriately sized cutter, because graduated cutters are great for this. And this one, which is the 5th out from the middle on my set, is just about the right size to cut out this disc. And then on the bead maker, you can either press something into it or drape something over it. And since, well, you'll see. So step 1, I like to put my clay onto the disc and press it in with my thumb. This is a hard disc. It's not like a rubber stamp, so you have to manipulate the clay. I would say if you put your clay down on the surface and try to press this on like a stamp, you're going to be dissatisfied with the result. So this is how I do it. And I've never needed to use a release, but if you find your clay sticking, you can spritz the disc with a little bit of water or silicone spray or cornstarch or whatever kind of release you like to use would work with this. But I have never had a problem with it coming off. So once you've pressed it in, you can just peel off the disc. And then center it up and cut it out. And how I did this is by forming it into this domed shape gently, because I don't want to damage the design. And then I used my ultimate tool to make holes for hanging. And then for baking, because I have the 2 pieces, I took this off and gently laid it over this so that it would retain its domed shape, and then I can put the other one on here. Here are my baked pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the patinas in here, and then I'm going to reassemble this so that I have like a opening to look down into. So I've got these three open because I want to do that sort of blue-green patina. And what I'm going to do is use a dedicated brush and some of my liquid Sculpey bakeable medium, and I'm going to do the inside of this just by putting a really light coating of the liquid clay. And this is going to act sort of like glue. And I'm going to actually wipe some off. I have a rag dedicated to wiping off my liquid clay. And I'm using my finger and I'm sort of just taking it down off the high points of the design, because I don't want very much liquid in there, because the point of it is not to make a liquid clay project. The point is to use it as sort of an adhesive for the powders. So now I have some little sticks. These are wooden sticks. They're like toothpicks, but they're flat. And I get these at the craft store, and they're really good for flicking on powder like this, because the oxidized metal look is sort of grungy, but your coppers can be really bright. They turn really bright, interesting colors. But I really want it to be just sort of this grungy look, where it's just sort of developed a patina over time. And the powder's just going to stick where the liquid clay is. And then I'm going to use my finger and swipe over it. Just like this, to kind of grunge it up, and it's going to go down in the cracks. Oops. Stick to that liquid clay. And just be grungy. Grungy copper patina. And then I'm going to take this guy and put it over here. And I've got a piece of clay that I'm going to make into a rope. And you could do a couple different things here. You could just make like, maybe I won't do a rope. Maybe I'll do it where it's sort of a clasp. If I just go like this, and then I can use a tool, this is my ultimate tool, to press a divot into there. That helps to hold everything together. And then I can do a little of the same thing on the outside here. Not too much liquid clay. Just kind of swiping it around. And you are the master here. You get to decide what you want this to look like. So you can sprinkle it on, you can dump it on. Whatever you want to do. If you go ahead and Google copper patina, you'll find so many inspirational photos for what this actually looks like on real copper. And it's everything from like swirly marbleized looks to really funky, grungy looks, like what we're doing here. And then I'm going to bake this again to hold it all together. And what I have there is my holes for stringing it. And you've got a really fun copper look. And you can do other things too. You know, maybe you want to take some colorful, in fact, I'm going to do that right now. I'll be back. I have some glimmer polish here, and I'm just going to swipe some of this turquoise around the edges because it goes with my copper patina look. It's the right color. You always want to pay attention to edges when you're making things. Make sure that everything blends together and that you're not leaving anything out. That's what can change something from unfinished looking to really nice and finished looking. Okay, so before you ask me, no, we don't currently have this in the shop, but this is glimmer polish. We used to sell it, and if you send us a message, we'll let you know where you can get some. So I don't like to leave you hanging, but that's a fun product that we like to use a lot. So there you go. Really fun and simple way to add a little age to your polymer clay. So we have metal oxides, which is kind of like grungy, rusty looks, a couple of browns, black, white, and a green. And then we've got the copper patina, which are colors that were chosen because of looking at what real copper patina tends to look like. So these have no mica in them. They're flat matte colors. And you can get them, of course, at createalong.com. So I hope that that was a fun idea for you. If you want to share what you make using techniques like this, come on over to Polymer Clay Tribe and share with us. We love to see what you make. Have a great week.